Hi, and welcome back to Relate and Illuminate. If you saw my first episode, it was about family dynamics. And thank you for subscribing and commenting. So today, uh, we're going to talk about love relationships. And that could take an hour or more, but we're not going to spend that on it. We're just going to do that short 7-8 minutes. The thing is, a lot of people start a relationship just by attraction, chemistry. That's the big word. And of course, you have to have that. But you think they're cute, they think you're cute, all that. But what's underneath that? Because, if this is a long term relationship, looks fade. And I can attest to that as I age. So, what's left? Well, a few things. There needs to be some commonalities, but one thing that's interesting that I've found in trying to work out relationships is we're drawn to people that maybe we're weak in. Let's say you're an introvert. You're drawn to extroverts. So they say opposites attract. They do. And that's fine as long as you don't, as an extrovert, get in that relationship and want somebody to be like you. Make sure you can accept who they are. Y'all can live harmoniously together without changing each other, because guess what? Or expecting change. People don't change. The only time they change is when they absolutely really want to and work on it. And it might be with a therapist or books or study, and a big willingness to do so. So don't expect change. So if it starts with attraction, the thing I would say is to look underneath. Do you have similar values? What are some commonalities? Does he or she like to be social? And do you like to be social? Because if somebody likes to go out and do things and the other person's a homebody, you're not going to spend a lot of time together and you grow apart. So it doesn't mean you have to spend all your time together. Everybody has different interests and stuff like that. And I've been married. I was married for several years, but divorced. Turned out not a great idea. He was looking for happiness outside of himself instead of within, and it just didn't work out. But I have had some serious relationships, and the last one I had, I thought was forever, and it was good in the beginning. But I think, as I've said, if I haven't, I'll say it again. It's worth repeating, and that is, I'm authentic as I can be. Everybody's got parts of themselves they want to guard, but I think it's important to be who you are. Be authentic, because that's who people need to see, who you are, in order to say that person's for me or they're not. And so one of the problems in my last relationship, it was my feeling that he tried to be who he thought I wanted him to be. And in the end, of course, you can't be anything but yourself. I just want to interject here, because when I was talking about failed relationships, my two serious ones, and I think I pointed the finger at them, and I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows it takes two to make a relationship and two to break a relationship. And I had my part in that. So the thing that I did have and they didn't have was commitment. Because when times get hard, and they will, commitment is what gets you through. What are some other things you can look at that will really help? Because I think there's 3 pillars of a good love relationship, and that is communicating. And that includes listening, not just talking, but communicating your feelings and listening to what the other's feelings are. And so that's a big one. Then with that, you can create trust. Who are these people? What do you expect from them? Make sure your expectations are realistic. And these are all things I've learned the hard way. So again, I cannot tell you to do all these things, just based on whatever. And I learned the hard way through experience. So communication, trust, common values, commitment. That's a big one. Without that, it's a foundation. If you're going to look at the pillars, commitment's first, communication, trust, they're all pillars of a good relationship. And again, it might be a man-woman, it might be a woman-woman, a man-man. It can be anybody. It can be a partner. So these are just good pillars. And the other thing I think is important, humor. Life is hard at times. Can you keep a sense of humor? Can you laugh at yourself? Can you laugh at each other? And does that person make you laugh? How do you feel when you're with them? Okay. And don't look for somebody to complete you. That was the, buzzword in a movie. You complete me. Well, no, you need to go into the relationship as complete as you can. Now, I do think people get in relationships to fix their issues, and that's okay. You can help each other heal your issues, but you're still doing the work. In other words, we talked about it last time, was if you're triggered by your past, that's a wound. And so what can your partner do to help you heal that? And if it was you didn't feel loved, how about them when they see you are triggered, holding you, wrapping their arms around you and say, you're okay, I love you. But, if you don't get that from that person, that's not good. And again, they're going to have triggers. Can you give them what they need in those moments? So that's a little bit on love relationships from my perspective, from my experience. And I want to know about yours. I want to know what obstacles you've had, what successes you've had, and how you work them out, and comment. So thanks for your comments and your subscription. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining. Bye now.